from the Ector County Coliseum. It's the Catwalk at the 2023 Permian Basin International Oil Show. Here's today's special edition episode, Part 1.
Well, Catwalkers, welcome to the 2023 Permian Basin International Oil Show. I'm your host, Jay Whitlow, and we have some great guests with us today. I want you to give a big Catwalk welcome to Casey Daly and Elizabeth Guess right here. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So glad you're here. So, is this your first time at the show?
No.
No? How long have you been coming?
I'm from here. So
You're from Odessa?
I'm from Odessa, and my family has been in oil and gas since I was born, so This is the norm.
Are you Odessa High or Permian?
The only good school, Permian.
Permian. Now, Permian lost, didn't they, just recently? Should we talk about that?
Let's not talk about that.
No, let's not talk about that. Okay, we'll skip that part.
Okay.
So you're from Odessa, so your family's been in oil and gas.
Yes.
A long time. Where do you work right now?
Right now, I work for Standard Safety and Supply.
Okay, what do you do for them?
So I do all their corporate sales.
Okay.
We do H2S monitoring and remediation.
Okay, how long have you been with them?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2?
Yes, 14 in the industry, and then almost 2 years with Standard.
Okay. Now, Elizabeth, are you from Odessa? Or
I am not.
No? Where are you from?
No, I'm originally from Houston.
Okay.
So my husband is from Bakersfield.
Okay. California.
Yep, Bakersfield,
okay.
California. So he was
Got
in
the Cali guy.
Yep, he's in the oil field in California. So he moved to Texas. He works for H&P Drilling.
Okay.
So he moved to Texas whenever he became a driller.
Okay.
And then we met actually in San Antonio. I was living in Dallas at the time. And then once we started our family, he was a rig manager and just hated not being able to come home every night.
Okay.
So when he put in for a superintendent's position and got it, we moved to Midland. And so that was at the beginning of 2018.
Okay. Now, did you guys know each other before this?
We did not. I lived on our street first.
Yeah.
And she moved in, I think, a year later.
Okay, so you live on the same street?
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 houses apart, maybe.
5 houses apart, okay. All right, so let's just a little random question here, since y'all are pretty good friends?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Whose house is cleaner?
Hers.
Mine, for sure.
Yours is. And how many kids do you have?
2, but my husband is very OCD.
Okay, so you have 2. How many kids do you have?
I have 3. And I will
But
also
her house
say...
is cleaner. Okay, that
Okay,
makes
it's
sense.
only because my third, so our older 2, so her
Yeah.
2 are the same age as my older 2.
Okay.
But my third is a tornado, and
Wait,
so
did
she's
y'all
the
plan
reason.
all the kids together and
No.
stuff?
No.
Did y'all get together and have like a planning session?
No,
and-
so we have...
No.
We met after our second was born, I think.
No,
Okay.
before.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we have an argument going. Okay, this is
Before.
good.
So
This is good.
there's 4 of us that our girls are within 3 to 4 months of each other, and our boys are within
Days.
10 to 12 days
Okay.
of each other.
Okay.
Not planned at all.
Now, are the husbands good friends?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
And are they at the show now, or are they
They
on the
are.
golf course?
Yeah, both of ours. They probably wish they were on the golf course.
Mine probably will be later.
He will be this afternoon, right? Okay. All right. So let's say who has more throw pillows in their house?
You.
For sure me.
How many? Can you count them?
In all rooms?
This is important.
In
Yeah,
all
this
rooms?
is important.
I would,
For all ladies watching, this is important.
I would say at least over 30 in the entire house.
30 throw pillows?
Probably.
I have 2, Jay. I have 2.
2. All right, that's my kind of girl right there. 2. Why would you have? What is the necessity for throw pillows? I don't get it. Is it decor or is it?
Probably. The neatness, the professional part of it.
Okay.
And my husband thinks they're junk, for sure.
I like him. I mean, no, I kind of, we have some throw pillows in our house. Okay, who's a better cook?
Oh, her.
Ooh.
I don't cook.
Oh.
I order meal prep every Saturday to be delivered every Monday morning.
Meal prep. Can you get that from Chick-fil-A?
No,
No.
but that's DoorDash.
That's DoorDash. Okay, so you're the better cook.
Only because I follow the instructions on the HelloFresh little
Oh, okay.
pamphlet.
Hello,
So.
Fresh. Okay. All right. Now this may be probably the biggest question that I could ask. I'm sure everybody that's watching wants to know. Swifties?
Oh.
No,
Wait. Okay. You're a no. You're an emphatic no.
I'm a
That
no.
was an emphatic no.
And you're a well. Okay. So there's a story there.
I wouldn't listen to her on my own, but I do with my daughter, if that makes sense.
How old is your daughter?
7.
Okay, so she's into that.
Yeah.
You didn't take her to the concert?
No.
My daughter has no idea who she is.
Really? None?
None.
Are they not at each other's house?
They are.
Yeah,
and they go to the same school,
and they're in
same
the
class.
same class.
This is crazy.
My daughter did ask who was the half-naked lady on all the girls' T-shirts last year.
Who was it?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift. Okay. Well, then I'm not going to let my girls have that shirt. Of course, mine's 23 and 18, so I could care less.
My
what
daughter,
they're gonna
she's all into sports.
wear. Okay.
That's all she wants to do is be outside, play in the dirt, play sports.
So she's a sports girl.
Yes.
So are you saying Taylor Swift's not a sportsy?
I would not say she's sporty at all.
Do you know who Travis Kelce is?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You do now, or did you know before?
We do now.
You do now.
No, I knew before only because he was on my husband's fantasy team last year.
How's his fantasy team doing?
I think he's actually doing pretty well this year.
Is it for money?
Yes.
It is.
Don't ask me how much, though. He probably won't even tell me the truth.
He's not going to tell you.
No.
We're not looking at that little line item there. Okay. So you're an emphatic no on the Swiftie, and you're an okay when it comes
I can
So who do you listen to?
Music-wise,
Yeah, who's your thing?
Miranda Lambert for sure.
Country?
Country.
Okay. I can't stand country music, but that's okay. That's for another show.
I'm
Okay.
trying to think. I did create a playlist for school drop off, and so we listened to like a little bit of what everybody likes. And I would say probably actually most of it is Taylor Swift.
Most of it is. Okay.
My kids like Old Town Road,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Believer or Believer. I couldn't even tell you the
So
singers.
who did you grow up listening to?
Country for sure.
Just all country when you were younger?
Yes, for
high
sure.
school,
Country.
college?
My dad listens to like AC/DC, like the older rock.
Right.
That's probably
It's good, dude. Yeah.
Yes.
I would say
Okay.
90s country, classic rock, and
Yes.
pop.
Classic rock pop. Okay. Let's talk about community.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys involved serving in the community, volunteering where? And tell us
I
about
sit
that.
as vice president of the Boys and Girls Club board in Odessa, and on their executive board, I sit as their event chair
Okay.
for their gala. I am on their expansion team for the next 5 years. I am all team Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
And so I also, Casey kind of wrote me into it a couple of years ago. So my background when I was living in Dallas is production. So I went to the Art Institute, have a degree in video production, and did pretty much all the things. I did live events, commercials, TV shows, everything. And so when Casey first was telling me that they were doing this event, I was like, oh, who's doing your production? And she was like, wait, what? I don't know. The convention center? I don't know. And so I'm like, oh no, we got to talk. And so,
was this happening on like the front porch or the backyard?
Absolutely.
yeah,
Probably.
probably. Yeah.
She's my person.
Conversation.
I even said this in my speech this year. She was awarded a committee member of the year award. And I'm like,
Congratulations.
she is my person. Like, we sit on the porch over White Claws or coffee or anything mixed, and I'm like, what do you think about this idea? And she wrangles me back in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the realistic. So anyway, so the
Pull that
last
back in, yeah.
the last 2 years, I served as the production chair, and we raised an exponential amount of money. Do you want to say your fun fact?
Yeah, so this year we were given the top profiting nonprofit award for almost hitting 1.4 million within the
Wow,
Permian Basin.
Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
It's
Yeah,
our third year for this
That's
event.
awesome.
It started from ground up 3 years ago, and every year we've doubled our proceeds. All stays within the Permian
And
Basin.
I think a lot, that's really important because I don't think a lot of people realize, whenever people give to nonprofits in the area, sometimes they don't stay local. Your funds
Sure.
don't stay
Yeah.
local. They go somewhere high and then it gets distributed
Trickle down,
locally.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of our funds stay local and they
Yes.
help the kids in our communities. I mean, people here that have kids that probably attend these clubs,
Right.
those funds assist them.
That's
so
awesome.
it is,
So
that's
how
really cool.
could somebody who might be watching or listening want to get involved with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so they
in
could
the
reach
community?
out to one of us or to any of the clubs. There's 5 within Midland, Odessa, which that is considered the Permian Basin. We do tours almost every day.
I think the website, is it pbbgc.org?
Possibly.
Sounds right.
Okay.
Possibly.
We'll look it up and we'll put it in the show notes.
Okay,
there.
perfect.
So let me ask you this. What drives you to want to do that?
I grew up doing sports and other things through the clubs. We used to walk over to one of the clubs when I was younger in elementary, and so when I was looking to do nonprofit work, I started at American Cancer Society.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I didn't stay was COVID, and they closed their facility here within the Permian. And so,
Sure.
again, their money doesn't stay local, and so I was looking for something that stayed local, and a gentleman moved over there and was like, can you just start with us? So there was
Right.
3 of us that moved, and we just started from the ground up and tried
That's
to
awesome.
figure it out the best way we could. And
Yeah.
we didn't have an executive director at the time. We just got one within the past year, and she's been great. And she's from the education world, so combining education into the Boys and Girls Club has truly been a gift. And so I say just, like, I tell all of our committees, like, just come on for 1 year and see where you fit, and we'll start figuring out, like, what your specialty is. And when you do that, that's how Elizabeth and several others, they were able to, like, be like, hey, I can offer you this, and let's run with it. And it has,
That's awesome.
we have a lot of compliments. I mean, it's down to the second of our timeline of how things run, and she does a great job.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's good. Anything to add to that?
I mean, I would say it definitely helped being a part of it for the first year, because I was a little just trying to get my toes wet,
Right.
didn't know anything about the organization. But one of the things I volunteered to do was to interview the kids and make a video that we can show the night
Sure.
of. And after interviewing all these kids, I was like, oh, I wouldn't choose another organization in town.
That's cool.
So just hearing it from the kids, how much they love the club and how much they learn and have all the activities, like it was cool.
A lot of nonprofits, you hear, like, their event chairs, like, I'm just burnt out. And yes, we do get that way come the day of, you've worked so hard, but the backing that we get from them, from the staff, is most people that join us are like, we never got this anywhere else.
Right.
This is where we want to call home. And then they end up joining our boards. We have a 5-year strategic plan, and a lot of them who, like, we don't want to do the board, but we want to give back, they're joining, these different areas of strategic
Right.
planning. And it has, I mean, what you thought of, like, the boys club as well, it started
Right.
out, the Boys and Girls Club, it kind of got stagnant, is growing exponentially.
I was going to say, you probably have a misunderstanding in the past of the Boys and Girls Club, and I applaud you both for bringing that and strengthening it, growing it, making it what it is today. I appreciate
Yes.
that. Who do you think, pick one or two people that you would say is most influential in your life, who you would listen to, you would let them pour into you? Who would that
Go ahead.
person
I don't know if it's a person, but I would say an organization, Stonegate.
be? Stonegate? Yeah. Great church. Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if I can elaborate because I don't want to cry, but they've
Yeah. Influential. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That's
both
awesome.
part of Stonegate. I think that's where we both truly found religion. I mean, I grew up in a smaller church here in town, St. John's, but really understanding religion and being able to, like, dive into it, raising our kids there
That's great.
has being able, like, my kids to tell you who Jesus is to them and what that means is come from Stonegate. We do a lot of marriage stuff there. Our comm groups are through there. We've done moms groups through there. So they are for sure, I would say, who we both look to. And on my side, I would say my stepdad. I didn't grow up in, like, a very wealthy family. I was a single mom. My real dad is around here somewhere. He's great. He was in my life. But my stepdad, he had, like, the professional job. He was an
Right.
engineer, and so he really set the level for me, like, you're going to go to school, you're only going to make A's and B's, like, set goals for yourself, short-term, long-term goals, and lifetime goals. And I would say that has been my largest.
Wow. So probably with your stepdad and then the community that you've built through your church. And I appreciate that because I spent 10 years as a pastor locally here.
Oh.
And so that is exciting to interview people who have that joy where you were like, I'm about to cry, because that's something that's happened to you, something that's been burning in you, has been built up in you, and you find that in your community, and I think that's great. And I think that's what's missing in our community.
I completely
think
agree.
COVID killed a lot of that, set us back a while, but people are yearning for community, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this podcast, is just to interview people, for them to meet other people, because you never know who's watching and listening who goes, I can resonate with what you are saying, right? I want to serve with those ladies. I want to do what they're doing.
I can 100% say this community has definitely impacted us in the sense that, so my husband does have the opportunity to move to their main sales office in Houston, and all my family's in Houston. I mean, I said I'm from Houston, so, like, in hindsight, like, that would be nice, having help with the kids, our grandparents, being able to see them, but it would be hard to leave this community.
It would be, yeah.
And I think I didn't say what I do.
There is
so,
a fly.
Yeah.
You see
Thank you.
that?
I'm not
You're
just-
not just
yeah.
trying to hit me or yourself. There's actually a
There
fly.
is
here.
a fly.
Yeah.
So I work for Ken Satellite and Potable Water Hauling.
Okay.
I know, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I usually just try to abbreviate and just say, I work with Ken's Potable Water. So we supply TCEQ certified water to rig sites, man camps, pretty much anyone that needs fresh, clean water.
Okay.
And how I got this position is my friend boss, that's what I call her.
Friend boss.
Yeah, my friend boss. She's our owner's daughter.
Right.
So it's a really small mom and pop shop. They've been around doing this. They've been in Midland since 2010.
Wow.
And so she basically was like, hey, do you know anyone? I think we're going to finally get a salesperson. And I was like, maybe me,
Maybe
maybe
yeah.
I know you know me, just give me a shot. And I didn't really have any oil field experience prior to this now. And so for anyone, that has to move here, like with their spouse, and they're not involved in the oil field, I would definitely say, like, there could definitely be a spot for anybody. I mean, if you walk around this oil show, there is so many different aspects
There's
of
a lot happening right now.
the oil field.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, anything. And honestly, being on the drilling side, because that's mainly what I do, I go out to drilling rigs, probably a few days a week and try to sell water.
Right.
I'm your friendly neighborhood water girl. And
Friendly neighborhood water girl. Well, when you said clean water, that just resonated with me because I've had a great experience launching a water project over in Africa.
Okay.
We drill water wells for people who don't have access to clean water. So
Yeah.
we'd love to have an off-air conversation with you on what
Yes.
you guys are doing. Maybe there's some partnerships there. But thank you, ladies, so much
Yes.
for being here. I appreciate it. It's great to get to know you
Yeah.
and hear your stories. And I just appreciate what you guys are doing and what you shared. And thanks for being on the Catwalk. Hey Catwalkers, welcome back to the 2023 Permian Basin International Oil Show. I am joined right now in the Ector County Coliseum with the pride of Texas Tech. This is Luke Williams. Hey Luke.
Hey Jay, how are you today,
The
man?
pride of Tech, huh?
That's right.
What year did you graduate?
2010,
Okay. I'm not going to
December,
tell you
so
what.
I was the lap and a half guy.
Oh, you were? I'm not going to tell you what year I graduated because they barely let me out of there, out of
Okay.
Tech. So, Luke, thanks for joining with us.
For sure.
Our viewers, listeners may not know much about you, so this is your opportunity. Just tell us everything you want to tell us about Luke Williams.
All right. Well, that's loaded there, Jay.
Give us the elevator pitch.
The elevator pitch. Well, I mean, I tell everybody when they ask. I told my team just the other day. First thing I want everybody to know about me is I love Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm a devout follower of Christ. The next thing is I want everybody to know I have a beautiful wife named Megan, and then I have 3 kids with my 4th child on the way.
Congrats.
There's going to be another little boy, so 1 daughter, a 6-year-old, and then a 4-year-old boy and a 2-year-old boy, and now another little boy coming. So really proud of my sweet family. And then work for ExxonMobil and heavily involved in my church here in Midland Bible Church.
Yeah.
And so just a lot of work, a lot of spending time with my family. I like to grill and smoke like meat.
Meats? Okay, good. I'm glad you-
on
glad you-
Traeger.
Yeah.
Okay, for all those
Traeger.
people that
Product
don't like
placement.
the pellet smokers, I'm a Traeger guy. And
Yeah.
and then I'm big into dirt bikes. I don't know why. Don't
Whoa,
ask. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. See, well.
Okay, so hold on, sidebar. Tell me about this dirt bike thing. Do you race them or?
No, when I was a little I did, but now I'm just I'm more into just rebuilding them, tinkering with them.
Okay.
And I've got these boys coming up, so I don't know why, I'm obsessed with them wanting to like that. And my wife is not a huge fan, but
So that's going to be your connection with the boys. Let's go out in the garage.
Yep.
Kind of like the
Let's
old
go.
home improvement show and kind of work on
sort
that
of,
together.
yes. Yeah, the whole Tim
So you
Tim
were
Allen.
younger and you raced them?
Well, we just rode dirt bikes, 4-wheelers and stuff growing
Really?
up. And
Where are you from?
From Gainesville, Texas.
Gainesville.
Originally.
That is north of
Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I don't claim north of Dallas. I claim north of Fort Worth.
That's funny. That's
so
funny.
born in Denton, raised in Gainesville was my
It's close
address.
to the border. Oklahoma.
Last city before you
Yeah.
cross into Thackerville, Oklahoma. That's
Okay.
right, where the casino is. That's what we're known for is WinStar Casino.
Is okay. Yeah, I
So-
haven't been there, so only casino I know is
neither
in
have I.
Vegas. So
Yeah.
Okay, so why Tech and what was your degree?
Lubbock, Texas. So I chose Tech. Full disclosure, I chased my girlfriend there. We broke up before I even made it there.
Wait, okay, so you chose Tech because a girlfriend
because
went
of
there,
a girlfriend.
but you weren't with her when you got
Nope.
there.
Before we even made it for the summer, I actually went to a junior college there in North Central Texas College.
Yeah.
Got an associate's degree there, and I was dating a girl from my hometown in Gainesville, and she was going to graduate high school and go to Lubbock, and so I thought, I needed to go to a 4-year school anyway. Let's go to Tech. So I loaded up, and like I said, we broke up before I got there. Made it to Lubbock, fell in love with Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Lubbock, Texas Tech, yeah.
If you could take Tech out of Lubbock, it'd be
Come
great.
on, man. If you could take Tech, put it Fort Worth, it'd be even better than TCU. But but anyway, we really I fell in love with the school. Got a degree in public relations, mass communications major.
And you're using that today?
Unbelievably, Jay, I use that degree every day, all the time. That's it's and my job at ExxonMobil has been in safety for the majority of the time I've been with the company, and so essentially what I'm doing is servant leading, which we can talk about more here in a minute, and then and supporting, but then I'm just doing public relations for our teams and for the different groups, and so showcasing a lot of what I learned in school. So it's came in handy for a big chunk of my career.
Now, do you follow Tech football still, or do you do that when you were there?
Oh yeah.
Who was the quarterback when you were there? Do you remember?
I was in the glory years. I have the best years. Graham Harrell was the quarterback. Michael Crabtree. Those were the years. We had the.
Were you at that game?
Oh my gosh, yes.
The sideline pass
absolutely, yes. Everybody on the field. I was at the Oklahoma game that same year where we got trounced by DeMarco Murray that went on to play for the Cowboys. So that was an exciting time. We used to rip up bleachers in the stadium and throw them on the field. Tech was a rowdy place to be, as you know.
And we have that on the audio and video now that you tore that up.
Hey, it's okay. Just
okay.
There was like 45 of us. You can't do it by yourself, so they'd have to throw us all in jail. But
I took a bolt. Back in the day, Billy Joe Tolliver was our guy, and Tyrone Thurman, Smurf.
Come on, back in the day.
And we tore down a bleacher too, and I still have the bolt.
The bolt
from the bleacher seat.
See, I wish I would have had something. I have saved on YouTube. There's a clip of all of us we passed the bleacher all the way up to the top of the stands, and then went all the way back down and chunked it on the field.
Can you get me that link, and we'll put it on the show notes, and everybody watching,
so everybody
can
see it. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll get it to you.
You're famous now.
It's pretty much.
We didn't have social media when I went there, so there is no proof.
I'm pretty sure I was rocking a Razor whenever that was happening. So I don't even think I had an iPhone.
That's funny. So, now, does Megan work, or does she not work now that she's taking care of an entire football team?
Yeah,
that you
pretty
guys have now,
pretty much. Yeah, whole lawn crew. So no, Megan was a respiratory therapist in Fort Worth when we met. She came to Odessa here, worked at ORMC, and was one of our flight respiratory therapists to go in to get the NICU babies from all the different surrounding cities and bringing them to Odessa. But she's actually, after we had our first, she worked for about one more year, and then she hung it up, and she's been staying at home with the kids, and that's her ministry / job. And it's the worst job of all time. So bless her soul that she gets to do it.
Especially how young they are now.
Yeah, all close in age. It's crazy.
But I will encourage you, being a father of 3, my youngest is 18, about to graduate. You know all my kids. You probably know my oldest, Carolyn, the most.
Yes, I do. Yes.
They get older, and you still worry. You still stay up
Don't
late
say
at night.
That, Jay.
You still go through all those things when they're 5.
Right.
When they're 23, you still deal with that. So kudos and applaud you guys. How did y'all meet?
Well, crazy. We met kind of through some mutual friends, because what's even crazier is there was a time where Megan and myself both lived in Odessa, and we've even tracked it to where we were both in the hospital at the same time on some occasions and didn't know each other. Then she left Odessa, went and got a job in Fort Worth, which is where I'm originally from, that part of the world, and she went to school at Midwestern in Wichita Falls. A lot of the folks that I grew up and went to school with went to Midwestern. So we met through mutual friends there, went on a blind date our very first date. We dated for about 6 months, got married, and
Beautiful.
crazy
And you
fun
will not
story.
tell your kids to do
I will,
that, right?
Yeah, do not tell. My wife tells them that all the time. Like, I don't know
6
why I
months,
went and
nope.
met with you randomly, but there was a Jesus connection instantly, and fortunately, that was what that's been our foundation for our whole family and our whole life and our marriage.
That's
so
awesome.
It's been good.
So things have been pretty busy for ExxonMobil lately.
Man,
what
yeah.
what projects are you working on, or that you're over at this time?
Yeah, lot going on, a lot of exciting news in the air for ExxonMobil. Not a lot of information at this point, but a lot of excitement in the news. But so my current assignment and project is I'm the unconventional well servicing security, safety, health, and environmental manager.
You got all that on a business card?
All that. It's
Wow.
just SSHE. She. It's
She.
weird that there's a lot of different ways you can classify safety managers across the industry, but that's how ExxonMobil does it. So anyway, my purview is the United States, any operations we have, unconventional operations in Canada and in Argentina.
Right.
So we've got most of our work is consolidated kind of in two places: North Dakota, the Bakken, and then here in Midland.
Okay.
And then we also have some work going on in South Texas, East Texas, and Oklahoma.
Okay.
And we've got a drilling rig currently going in Argentina. So some exciting
That's
exciting
pretty
activity.
Cool. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on. And do you guys have a booth here at the oil show, or are you guys just kind of walking around?
We don't.
And
I think
hanging out.
I think we sponsor some of the things here, but we don't have a booth. But yeah, there's a lot of our folks. I've already just walking in. I saw several
See
folks
a lot
from
of people.
ExxonMobil. So that it's very important time for us every 2 years to engage with a lot of folks that are here that we don't get to see. I'd have to travel to San Antonio and all over the country to see a lot of the folks that are here this week. So
Right.
I was here yesterday evening, and then I wanted to come and spend some time with you this morning, and then go see some more of the folks that I don't get to see a lot. It's a pretty neat opportunity.
Does your job require you to travel a lot? Do you have to be away from the family, or?
Yeah, this new role, fortunately, it's a Midland-based role for now. We're centered here in Midland because this is kind of where 60% of our work is right here. So they've let me stay here, but I spend a lot of time on the road. I'm spending a lot of time in Houston.
Yeah.
A lot of time in North Dakota, just because we have a sizable operation there. I've got some strong connections and relationships over the years there, but there's no substitute for your physical presence as a leader.
Sure.
Just to being there, meeting with my team, and cultivating good, healthy relationships of trust, and with my folks and with the operations folks there. And then spend some time in Oklahoma. And so I stay on the move. From now, let's put it this way, from now until the rest of the year, I'll probably be gone at least 2 days every week for the rest of the year.
Wow.
So yeah, we're going to be hustling, lots of traveling back and forth to Houston. So lots of excitement.
You're from Gainesville, and did you play sports or in band or anything? What was your extracurricular that you did?
Growing up, little kid, I was a baseballer, and then as I got older, got into track and football, and kind of laid down. I decided I wanted to do track versus baseball. You couldn't really do both in high school. I went to a small 1A school.
Sure.
We did everything. You
you
played basketball,
all
football,
sports.
you did it all. But I was the quarterback of the football team there for my junior and senior years, and I had the really neat opportunity to
Were
play
you
with
good?
my little brother.
Were you good?
I mean, I was all state my senior year.
What?
Yeah,
That's
so,
awesome.
But it's a 1A school, Jay.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, I could sling the rock. I'm passionate about the quarterback position.
That's
but
great.
No, we made it to playoffs, but we didn't go very far.
Okay, so back then, that would have been what year?
I graduated 2006.
2006. So, all right. So I got to know, what was your hype song back then? That one song that you guys played in the locker room, or you played in your car or
man.
whatever, and you're like,
It was probably
I'm Jack now.
It's probably something by like Linkin Park or something. It was like the original Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I remember more jamming out for basketball games than I actually do football games.
Oh, really?
But yeah, because basketball, you got the warm up songs as you're warming up. You don't get that really in football. They played we did a lot of the old school kind of Remember the Titans soundtrack. We did some of that stuff as well.
Did they play it like when y'all ran through the banner? And
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
or
exactly.
the band was playing or something.
Well,
like that?
we didn't have a band. Small
that's
small
true.
school.
Yeah.
We had
You had to-
cheerleaders and my mom yelling really
And a
loud.
megaphone.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would have been your walk-up song in baseball if you had one?
Oh man, when 2006. Man, that's a good question. There was a guy, I love Shania Twain, and there was a guy playing the saxophone out here yesterday,
outside.
playing Shania Twain.
Really?
It would have probably been something Shania Twain, to be honest with you.
That cat was good.
He was good.
He was dropping flute yesterday.
Dude, he did.
I'm like,
he was.
Is that Lizzo out there? And then it was like, no, man, it's not Lizzo.
Dude, I thought it was Kenny G at first. He had
Kenny G on
it.
the
He had it
sax and
rolling,
stuff,
but
yeah.
he was good.
So tell me, you guys, obviously you started off the conversation, which I admire and appreciate. And as a pastor of the last 10 years, appreciate any time I visit with somebody who starts off a conversation or drops in that they're a believer, that they love Christ and are a Christ follower. Where are you guys plugged in? I know you said you're at a church, but where are you plugged in the community? Are you guys serving anywhere as a family or maybe ExxonMobil? What does it look like, your community engagement?
Good question. I was thinking about that, Jay. We do things in the community, but it's always usually tied back to our church.
Yeah.
Man, just the season of life. And I kind of beat myself up as I was thinking about, prepared just how to maybe answer that question, just because I was like, man, I ought to be doing more. My life, I was devoted to the Boys and Girls Club of America for years of my life. Doing that outside of the church and really spending a lot of time there. But now, just with the season of life that we're in, I work a lot. And then I'm with my family, and then I'm at church. And so really all my community activities are usually tied up into our church, doing different volunteer things. I remember, at Crestview you used to volunteer for the schools, which I love doing. And so that's the other thing is we're plugged into our daughter's school, Midland Classical Academy, and I get to volunteer parenting hours. Great school, fantastic school.
Who introduced you to that school?
There was a guy named Jay Whitlow. His wife used to be on staff there, and we're plugged in at Midland Bible, and so all the great folks on the board, and Amy Avampato, the principal of the grammar school. World-class folks, and
great
so
leaders.
We consider it the most humbling honor to have a child to go to school there. So it's pretty exciting, and our daughter loves it. So we do some volunteering there, but besides that, in this particular season, not a whole lot plugged in, other than just again through our Midland Bible Church is doing something for Halloween, the big country fair that they do every year. That's coming up. We'll be involved in that, so that's really exciting as well.
Okay. I got a couple more questions, but I want to throw some fun ones in here, just kind of throw you, see if I can get you off your game a little bit. Let's say, have you ever peed in a pool?
Absolutely.
What age?
What age?
Like recently?
38? I'm like 30. Yeah, no. Shoot. I remember, it's funny that you say this. So we were at somebody's pool swimming with our kids the other day, and my kids were asking. Well, the problem is, other parents let their kids just do it. They're little, right? Just be in the pool. No big deal. And then it was funny because I was telling Jude, I was like, well, if he did it, then you can do it. And he's like, well, Dad, have you ever done it? I'm like, well, of course I've done it. And they're like, in the pool? So
then it's legal.
Rule of thumb, only pee in chlorinated pools. Don't pee in saltwater pools. That's a little weird.
Really?
Just a good rule of thumb. Used to be a
Good
lifeguard.
advice.
Pee in salt. Or pee in a pool that you know the person. Don't pee in the public pool. That's gross. Everybody else is doing it too.
This is a public service announcement from Luke Williams right now.
Don't pee in saltwater pools. Thank you.
Yeah. So, what are your kids going for as Halloween this year? Do you make that decision, or does Megan make that?
Oh, no. Well, no.
Or do they get to choose?
We try to let them choose. It's weird, though. But you know how it is. You choose what's on the wall at Walmart or whatever's on Amazon feed, So Jack, our littlest one, he's obsessed with Spider-Man just because the mask, it covers his whole face.
Yeah.
My 4-year-old's not much into the whole mask coverage. He's more into the half mask. So he went with Batman. So we got Spider-Man, Batman, and then Lila, I can't even remember. She changes it. She's she's a woman. She's a girl. She's gonna change her mind.
Again, another public service announcement.
Oh, you know what? She said. I think another public service announcement. I think the latest is she wants to be a mermaid.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
So
what are you going as? Do y'all do that?
The father. No. Megan wants
father.
Yeah. The guy that's confiscating the candy as fast as they're putting it in the bucket.
Exactly.
No, Megan has always wanted to do the whole everybody dress up, and because we have our littlest is named Jack, she's always wanted to do The Incredibles because
Oh, perfect.
it's perfect,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm like, but I'm not like I barely can bench like 145, so I can't quite be the dad.
Can't pull that one off.
No. So anyway,
Wow.
no. So we'll see about what she's got up her sleeve. She'll throw something on me last minute, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, Luke, I've always been impressed in the years that I've known you, and just proud of who you are and the life that you're leading now. Because I knew you before you were married, or I guess right at getting married, and
Right,
not
yep.
kids.
Yep,
and so
you did.
Now I've seen you as a dad, and you used to, go on trips and stuff with youth, and I've seen that. I've seen you progress and grow, and I admire that and appreciate that. Who would you say is the most influential person in your life, somebody who pours into you? Who do you listen to? If you were going to say who sits at my table, who would that be?
Good point. Well, loaded, but I'll try to answer this succinctly. The most influential person in my life, persons, is my dad.
Yeah.
Godly man, taught me about the Lord, shared his testimony with me, and at an early age, and honestly lived his life for Jesus in a way that I wanted to be like that.
Yeah.
What the craziest part is he grew up in an abusive home, and he didn't have that, so he was generation one for the gospel, and so I take it, and I feel like in a way that was easier than even what I have been tasked with, which is carrying the baton on and passing it, because you get somebody that takes a stance, and then it's really common for people to just kind of get lax and be like right on the coattails of what my dad did. So
Yeah.
my dad is super influential. Fast forward to today, the folks that invest in me, yourself, and there's a lot of men that have invested in me over the years. Currently, one of the folks on staff at the church that I'm with, Randy Sims, he is personally taken me under his wing and just asked me hard questions. I've got another guy, David Hall. Just there's some really close folks I have. Colin Spain, one of my really good friends. They're honest and they're vulnerable with me, and they've created a space where I can be vulnerable and honest with them, and share with them what's going on in my life, and they hold me accountable as a dad, as a husband, as a follower of Jesus, and in business too. Are you balancing your life correctly to where you can spend time doing all the things adequately that you can be a good godly man. So anyway, those are just some names that came off right off the top of my head, but that I would have around my table. Colin Spain I was with just yesterday. Those are the guys that are usually around my table whenever I get a chance. It all started with just thank the Lord I had a godly father. Man, just in the world today where there's so many young men don't have dads to speak of at all, and then there's the other half that have dads that are in the home but not spiritually, emotionally, physically present.
Right.
And so I had a rock star dad, so it worked out great, and I got big shoes to fill and a baton to carry on to my sons.
Sure. Who would you say you're pouring into that you're spending time with?
Yeah, it's good. So I've been focused on that. Big Tony Evans fan. I meant to say that too. Huge Tony Evans. Pastor Tony Evans I listen to him all the time, every day. And so anyway, he's always pushed on me. It's like, you should be pouring in. Somebody should be pouring into you, and you should be pouring into somebody else. So I have a young man in my life that just got married a couple years ago. Actually, performed his wedding. He asked me to perform his wedding. He's a Crestview kid. Anyway, performed his wedding, and him and his wife just had a baby. And the baby ended up getting really sick and was in the hospital for a little while. So anyway, we're close with them, and he actually crazily enough, he asked me if I would just mentor him. And so I'm getting an opportunity to do some of that. Need to spend some more time with him, and then honestly, I've found one of the ministries, and one of the things I'm doing right now is a men's ministry at our church called The Refinery. Where we meet on Tuesday mornings at 6 a.m. and we pour into just other men. It's needed. I have a huge passion for men's ministry and just the foundations of men becoming godly men. If we can get that right, we can fix the foundations of what's really broken with the world.
Absolutely.
So anyway.
Absolutely. All right, last question. Who's more of a Swiftie, you or Megan?
Megan for sure. Lila
Can I
calls
call her and verify that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But she is actually. We did the whole. She was asking me who Travis Kelce was the other night, and I was like, get up out of here. They were playing on TV,
Yeah.
and everybody cares about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Lila thinks Taylor Swift makes workout music because that's when
She does.
She does
She does make
workout song.
music.
So she'll tell Alexa, play workout music, and if she doesn't get, I can't remember which Taylor Swift song it is that she always wants her to play, but if she doesn't get it, she gets mad and starts yelling at Alexa,
Yeah.
like, no, the workout song, and Megan's like, it's Taylor Swift. I don't know what
So
it
is
is.
there some Taylor Swift on your Spotify?
Oh, I'm sure on Megan's. Hey, not on mine.
not on
man.
yours.
Not on mine. No.
It's all going to be country. And,
It's all gonna. Well, yeah, bluegrass.
Yeah.
I'm old school. My dad got me into bluegrass, but
Yeah.
I mean, I mix it up every little once in a while. I mean,
That's
they make
awesome.
fun of me for having Lil Wayne on my phone. I don't claim
Lil
that.
Wayne,
Yeah.
okay.
So, but anyway,
Yeah.
I have an eclectic taste in music
That's
for
awesome.
sure.
That's awesome. Well, Luke, thank you so much for being
Absolutely,
here.
Jay.
This has been a great time together. We've been hooking up for a while.
I know,
to be
man.
on the
This has
show,
been
and
a
It
treat.
just worked out for this, so I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
man.
And keep going. Great parenting style you got going on, and I love your family. And
We love you too,
Great
guys.
to see you around. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you guys.
Hey Catwalkers, I'm back at the 2023 Permian Basin International Oil Show, and I'm joined in the main Coliseum with this guy. This is John Morgan. Welcome, John.
Hey Jay, thanks for having me. Appreciate
Hey, you are with a group called Well-Aware.
Yep.
Tell us about, before we learn about you, tell us about Well-Aware.
it. Yeah, so Well-Aware is a remote monitoring and control company. So we're really a data company. And so our goal is to really get our customers high quality data so that way they can realize a return on that investment. So to make their operations more efficient, to be able to provide more transparency and trust between their customers, and just really drive efficiencies in the oil field, which we all know there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah. How long have you been with Well-Aware?
I've been with Well-Aware a little over 5 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you before that?
So interestingly enough, before Well-Aware, I had a career in the medical device industry for about 10 years.
Really?
So I did a lot of design and manufacturing.
When you say medical device, what do you mean?
So I have worked on hospital beds, some of the design
Okay.
and manufacturing of hospital beds. There's some products that are like a Segway for a hospital bed. When you push it, it helps assist it. And then also some bone drills,
Okay.
a product called EZIO, and it's a life-saving device. It's on every ambulance
Right.
in the country now. So
So how did you get connected with Well-Aware?
Yeah, so that's a fun story
From
because
the medical device.
yeah, it's a stretch. So prior to my stint in medical devices, I worked at another great small company called ETA International, and did some offshore oil and gas applications. So flexible hose designs, buoy configurations, anchor deployments,
Yeah.
things off the coast of Angola, Africa, and whatnot. And then decided to make a change and got in medical devices. And so I was at a point in my career where an opportunity came up to just do something different.
Yeah.
So I just started networking, and through my contacts in the medical device industry, they
Really?
said, you need to go talk to Matt Harrison, our founder of Well-Aware. And so just went and had an introduction with Matt, and it was supposed to be like a 30-minute meeting, and he and I just had a great conversation. I think I was in the office for a couple hours just
Yeah.
meeting the company there, and it just worked out.
Well, we'll get to your connection with Matt in a minute, because Matt's a good friend of mine, and there's a connection there.
Yeah.
Let's just take a minute and tell everybody that's watching, listening, about John Morgan. Tell us about your family, where you're from. Just kind of introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I've been married for 16 years now. This December will be.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I'm proud of that. My wife grew up in San Antonio. We've got 3 kids. Daughter Bryn, who's 11, son Rhett, who's 9, and
Yeah.
younger son Reed, who's 6. I grew up small town Texas,
Yeah.
Central Texas, early Texas is where I'm from. And
Wait, you're from early
mhm.
Texas?
Yeah,
Okay.
opposite of the lake.
Yeah, okay. There's a funny joke there probably somewhere.
I've heard
Okay.
heard them. So
Early
yeah.
Texas. Okay, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so I always like to tell a story. Once I actually moved I went to Texas State for college.
Yeah.
And graduated there, and came and lived in San Antonio. The first 6 months, I like to say I was victimized, is the truth. Had my house broken into and
What?
vehicles broken into.
Wow.
I wasn't used to that kind
Yeah,
of stuff, you
yeah.
know, and so I was, small
You're a
town
city boy now. Yeah.
yeah. So I had to be on my guard a little bit more and
Yeah.
figure out like, hey, this is a big city. You got to pay attention a little bit more. So I had to
Yeah.
keep my head on a swivel.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah.
So you've been married 16 years. You got 2 kids?
Three.
Three
Yep.
kids. How did you and your wife meet? Did y'all meet at college or?
We did. So, the funny story about that is we actually met online before it was cool to meet online. So,
Okay, you met online before it was cool to meet online.
yeah.
Okay.
Think about that, 16 years ago.
Yeah, 16 years ago? Were we doing anything online 16 years ago?
So it was Facebook.
Was it like AOL? Oh,
It was Facebook, and
Facebook?
that was when Facebook was only with the colleges themselves. You could
Okay.
only talk and interface to people within your
Okay.
same universities.
right.
And so
It wasn't MySpace?
it was, I don't think I actually had the MySpace account.
Yeah.
But, so Facebook, I think, was the new flavor at
Okay,
the
so
time.
that's how y'all connected?
Yeah,
Like a chat
it is.
room or?
Yeah, it was just the poke feature, believe it or not, was still there. So poked her, and she poked me back and started
Yeah.
having conversations. And
So you
Yeah.
you knew her before you ever saw what she looked like?
well, I knew what she looked like through Facebook. Now she swears she's seen me on campus, and somewhere before at college, and I'm not sure that we
Okay,
had
who
or not.
who
but-
asked who then to
Oh, I definitely poked her first. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because this is recorded now, so we have that.
Yeah, it's
we have that
true.
proof now. Okay. So, what was did you have like what is it called? Your Facebook profile name? Did you have a really cool
I don't know.
one?
I probably
that-
should make something up cool, but I really don't remember.
It's just
I think
generic and-
it was just John. As generic
Did
as you
she
can
have
get.
a cool?
No, it was
name?
the same. I think at the time it was like you just put your basic, like, hey, I'm John Morgan, and I go to Texas State.
It wasn't as intricate as it is now.
No, it's not as creative.
Did she graduate from Texas State?
She did not. She actually ended up going to get her nursing license, and so she went to
Okay.
another school in San Antonio to get her
Okay.
LVN and RN license. Yeah.
Did y'all get married while you were in school, or did you wait till afterwards?
I
or-
graduated.
Yeah.
In December, and
Yeah.
then proposed on New Year's, and then she
Wait,
finished going
okay,
through
on
school.
New Year's. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a story there.
Yeah, New Year's
Okay.
Eve. Yep.
What'd you do?
The Riverwalk. Yeah.
The Riverwalk in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Okay.
So took her downtown, and the Christmas lights are just awesome downtown
Yeah,
San
yeah.
Antonio. So if you
Yeah.
guys have never been to downtown San Antonio, and the river lights are
Yeah, okay.
are up, it's beautiful. And I literally was walking around with her, and she was not in a great mood that evening, believe it or not, and
Yeah.
didn't want to go downtown. So I had to convince her. I'm like, let's just go down. We'll have a nice
'Cause you
dinner.
knew
and-
you knew why you were supposed to go.
Oh,
downtown.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I was walking around like, hey, this looks like a good spot to.
She had no clue.
had no clue.
Yeah.
But I would say, hey, this looks like a good spot to, get engaged. She's like, no, this is terrible. Okay, I gotta try to find
Well,
another spot.
actually,
So
Yeah.
I was on a bridge there, and
you didn't drop the ring and it fall into
no, thankfully that would have
the
been
water. That would have been bad.
a disaster. Yeah.
Okay. And so you graduated from Texas State. What was your degree?
I'm a degreed manufacturing engineer.
Okay. Did you do any sports growing up?
I did. Yeah,
What'd you play?
pretty much all of them.
All of them?
Yeah, small town Texas. So
What were you the best in? Give me your top 3.
I mean, I did football, basketball, baseball.
I guess a little town you have to play everything.
Yeah, and you're playing both sides of the
Is
ball.
it 6
and-
man?
Not quite 6 man.
No, not in early.
No.
Okay. Wow. Okay, let's go jump back to your time at Wellaware. So Matt Harrison, he's been on the show before.
Yeah.
Matt and I knew each other from when he was in the Dallas area and stuff, and we knew each other and kind of drifted apart and kind of came back together. And so I think he started Wellaware, and then he brought you in. What do you guys? What's your sweet sauce? What's your number one thing you want to accomplish? That was a great throw right there. So what is your one thing that you guys want to accomplish the most?
Well,
This guy right here. He's the guy that threw the ball at me right
that was a
there.
good throw.
Awesome.
That was.
It's Gary Wyndham. Gary Wyndham's going to be on the show tomorrow.
I can't wait.
You don't have to lean into the mic. It's John Morgan.
John.
Gary.
Yeah.
Wyndham.
Thank you for throwing that. It was a really great throw.
Yeah,
It was a great throw.
I thought you would catch it.
Well, I didn't.
Should've
Yeah,
done
I
better.
should have. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye, so it was great. I'll see you on the show tomorrow.
be
Yeah,
there.
bring that football.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck
Yeah.
to you.
Head on
okay,
swivel
so
now.
what's the one thing you guys want to accomplish?
One of the things that we pride ourselves on at Wellaware is just really being servants to our customers.
Yes.
And so we want to be able to provide a quality service because, the oil and gas industry can be pretty cutthroat just when
Yeah.
it comes to service. And if you don't perform, you're out and on to the next. And so that's one of the things we recognize. And so, a lot of people who get to know WellAware and understand, like, hey, you have a hardware component, a software component, and a visualization and analytics platform. Like, you can make multiple companies out of each layer of that, which there are today in the market. And so one of the things that we wanted to do is be that one throat to choke. So when folks have a problem, they just come directly to us, and we can take care of it for them. And so we want to be able to provide the high quality data and the service, which I can't speak enough about our field team, our client success and engineering teams who have made this product just a realization for our customers to be, straightforward and streamlined.
Right.
And so that's ultimately our goal, is just to be able to provide a product that really does create value, that our customers want to grow with us, and that they want to share it with their end customers, whether it be an operator or a service provider. So,
And what role do you play at WellAware?
I'm the Chief Operating Officer at WellAware.
Okay. So you were the leader of a lot of people on your team, I would assume. So what's your leadership style?
I'm pretty transparent and open from a leadership perspective. I like the team to be able to make decisions, kind of the fail fast approach, like, hey, sounds like a good idea, guys, let's go do it. If it doesn't work, we'll make the correction, we'll own it, and we'll get it fixed fast. And so just like the team to all have their contributions obviously be praised and be made, and it's basically them to have a decision and say, hey, I decided this, and I had support from the team, and we're going to go and do it. So
how large is the team?
We've got approximately 20 people in WellAware. Yeah.
And they're spread out all over the state, or is it mostly just in San Antonio? Or
the headquarters is in San Antonio, and then we've got engineering teams that are spread out, some in California and some here in Texas, San Antonio, and then we have sales and field service supports team that are spread across as well.
Right. Who would you say, if you could pick one person that's been the most influential in your life, somebody that's been there, believed in you, pushed you, who would that person be?
It's hard to kind of pick one person. I think kind of somebody that I have a lot of respect for and look up to would be like a Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Man of faith. He wears that on his sleeve and evangelizes that. And he likes sports. I like sports a lot too. So
and mixing the two is even better. Yeah. So, that's awesome. Who do you listen to? Who would you say pours into your life, that invests in you? And then maybe the reverse of that, who do you invest into?
Yeah, it's a good question. I got to think about that a little bit because, we've got a lot of just friends that are just kind of end up being mentors, as you're sitting around having dinner with friends and family. It's not necessarily, I don't think, one single person that does that. I will say that Matt has contributed a lot to me just in terms of my leadership and kind of growth there, so I'm very thankful for that. But there's many others in our lives that, whether it's my church family or my friends at home, just real thankful for, and family, especially.
Community.
It's the community.
All about community.
Yeah, my wife's great at that too. So she holds me accountable.
Now, do you guys live in San Antonio, or you live outside?
We live on the outskirts of San Antonio, so on the north side, outside of the city limits. Far enough away to have a little privacy, I guess, but close enough to maintain the creature comforts.
Do you go to what is it there, Fiesta, Texas?
We've gone a couple of times to take the kids.
Okay. Are you a roller coaster guy?
I am. Yeah, I'm
kids aren't, because
I'm an adrenaline junkie. No, the kids are. I think. Yeah. What's interesting is that as you become a parent, and you just have this safety thing with your kids, and I'm like, wanting to put my arms around all of them, kind of deal. And my wife.
And then when you're doing it, you're like, I don't care. I'm not
it's hands up and stuff, right? But my wife's kind of gotten to where she doesn't like it as much either. So, but we like to go and have fun.
That's cool. I love roller coasters, but the older that I get now, I have a hard time with heights. On a roller coaster or a Ferris wheel, and I'm the one up there going, oh my gosh, get me down from this, and if you get me down and I don't die in this, I will go serve you wherever.
That's right.
I'll do whatever you want to, Lord, just get me off of this thing. And I used to be the one that would like, oh man, like you said, my hands would be up and everything, and when my kids were little, I'm like, sit down, be quiet, don't do anything. We're like, no, I want to scream, I want to yell, be on the so it's funny how that changes. Best part about being a dad?
Oh shoot, patience. I think, especially early on, I was not a man of patience. You learn that fast. especially with the young ones. And then as you have more, like I said, we have 3. It's you know your patience, you get outnumbered, and your patience gets tested. But I'm thankful for that, the patience. But I'm also thankful for just kind of seeing life through their eyes and just the things that they're appreciative for. It's the little things, just kind of whether it's coaching them in their baseball, softball games, or just kind of seeing them learn and grow. Like that's exciting. I enjoy that. Yeah,
it is cool. Okay, a couple questions, and then we'll wrap up our time together. Okay, so off the wall questions. You've been given a monkey. You cannot give it away. You cannot sell it. What do you do?
What color is the monkey?
Oh, let's go with brown. It's a monkey brown? I don't know.
If I can't give it away, I can't sell it. It's going to be pretty much like the small Chihuahua dog that's going to ride shotgun in the truck.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. And then probably put one of the little harnesses on it so they can walk it around and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If I had a monkey and I couldn't give it away, I'd probably go social media with it, right? And try to become famous, like
monetize
dress it up, do something. I don't know
like
if you
a
remember
this
may that's true. This may date me a little bit, but do you remember Flat Stanley? Like this little character that you would cut out when you were little.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You would take him to every field trip and every family vacation, and he would have to be in the picture with you.
Yeah.
I would do that with my monkey, and I would try to become famous with that. So, have you ever been kicked out of a library?
Have I ever been kicked out of a library? I don't know. That's maybe incriminating. I don't know. If I have, it wasn't memorable enough to talk about it. But I do feel like that would be something that would probably fall under something that I would have bragged about. So.
Yeah, I had somebody on a couple weeks ago on the show, and I was like, "You ever been kicked out of a library?" And they were like, "Yeah, because there was a bar in college called the Library, and I got kicked out of it." And I'm like, "What a great thing to call home and say, hey, Mom, Dad, I've been spending a lot of time at the library.
And go study at the library."
Yeah, so you did that. So, okay, so Well Aware is represented here at the oil show. They're partnering with Performance Chemical. It's one of the things that we pride ourselves on is what we do with specialty chemicals, and then we're partnering with you guys to bring that data to our customers.
Yep.
So we appreciate what you guys do, appreciate all the hard work that you put into it, and I appreciate your time today on the show.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jay.
Thanks for being with us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining with us. Special thanks to STEM Software for sponsoring the show and providing the location. Also thanks to our title sponsor, Performance Chemical Company.